Have you ever driven down a city street at night and noticed that some streetlights glow a warm yellow-orange while others shine bright white, almost like daylight? It's a detail so subtle that most of us hardly think about it. But there's actually a fascinating story behind why different streets have different colored lights. Tonight, we're diving into the science, history, and practical reasons behind the colors of streetlights. Right here, on History of Simple Things. Street lighting has been around for centuries, though not in the form we recognize today. The earliest street lamps were oil lamps, dating back to the 16th and 17th centuries in European cities like Paris and London. They required manual lighting every evening, a labor-intensive job that city officials took very seriously. Gas lamps arrived in the early 19th century and allowed for a brighter, more consistent light, but still relied on human maintenance. The big change came in the late 19th century with the invention of the electric light bulb. Thomas Edison's incandescent bulbs were adapted for street use, providing a safer, more reliable, and increasingly brighter light source. But it wasn't until the 20th century, with the development of specialized lamps such as high-pressure sodium, HPS, and metal halide lamps, that we started seeing the variety of light colors that cities use today. So why are some streetlights yellow and others white? The answer lies in the type of bulb, the technology used, and the priorities of the city. The yellow-orange lights you often see on older streets or in suburban areas are usually high-pressure sodium lamps. These lamps produce a warm yellow glow that is immediately recognizable. HPS lamps are incredibly energy efficient, which made them a popular choice for cities starting in the mid-20th century. They consume less electricity than older incandescent or even some fluorescent options, and they have a long lifespan, often lasting 15 years or more. On the other hand, the bright white lights are typically metal halide or LED lamps. Metal halide lamps produce a bluish-white light, closer to natural daylight, which makes it easier for drivers and pedestrians to see colors accurately at night. More recently, cities are switching to LEDs, which also provide bright white light, but are even more energy efficient than both HPS and metal halide options. LEDs can last up to 20 years and have the added advantage of being dimmable or programmable for adaptive lighting systems. It's not just a matter of technology. There are practical reasons cities choose one type over the other. Yellow HPS lamps are known for cutting through fog, rain, and snow better than white light. The longer wavelengths of yellow light scatter less in the atmosphere, meaning it's easier to see the road in poor weather conditions. This is one reason you often see yellow streetlights on highways, suburban roads, and areas prone to fog. White lights, by contrast, provide superior color rendering, which helps pedestrians, cyclists, and drivers distinguish colors and objects more accurately at night. That's why white metal halide or LED lights are often installed in urban centers, shopping districts, and streets with heavy pedestrian traffic. The enhanced visibility can reduce accidents and make areas feel safer. There's also a psychological component. Studies have shown that white light tends to make streets feel more vibrant and lively, while yellow light is often perceived as calmer or warmer. This can influence decisions about where to install different lights depending on the desired ambiance of a neighborhood. Energy consumption and maintenance costs are huge factors for city planners. HPS lamps, despite their warm glow, are still quite efficient compared to older technologies, but LEDs have largely surpassed them in both efficiency and flexibility. LEDs also allow for smarter street lighting systems. Some cities now use LEDs with motion sensors or dimming capabilities, so lights only brighten when people or cars are nearby. This cuts energy costs and light pollution, something that HPS lamps cannot do. The cost of retrofitting old HPS lights to modern LEDs can be high up front, which is why you often see a mix of yellow and white streetlights in many cities. Over time, however, the investment pays off in energy savings, reduced maintenance, and improved visibility. Another consideration is environmental impact. Yellow light is less disruptive to nocturnal wildlife because it contains fewer blue wavelengths, which can interfere with the natural behaviors of animals like birds and insects. White LEDs, especially older versions with a strong blue component, can cause more light pollution and disrupt ecosystems if not properly shielded. This is why some cities are experimenting with warmer-colored LEDs that combine the efficiency of white light with a reduced impact on wildlife. It's a balancing act between safety, cost, and environmental responsibility. So next time you're walking home, driving through a quiet neighborhood, or cruising down a busy highway at night, look up for a second. That color above you isn't random. It represents decades of engineering decisions, city budgets, safety studies, and environmental considerations all working together in the background. The yellow-orange glow of high-pressure sodium lights reflects a time when efficiency and longevity transformed urban infrastructure. The crisp white shine of LEDs signals a newer era, one focused on smarter systems, adaptability, and long-term sustainability. Street lighting is one of those everyday technologies we almost never question because it just works. But behind that simple glow is a blend of physics, public policy, human psychology, and design. It shapes how safe we feel, how clearly we see, and even how our cities look from miles away at night. And as technology continues to evolve, the color of our streets may keep changing. Warmer, smarter, more efficient. But the purpose remains the same, to guide us safely through the dark. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.